So this for those guys who has requests and I haven't accommodated yet. Probably I didn't, backtrack my YouTube comments and suggestions, but I'll make sure that I'll do that today. But some of them I wrote them right here, so and then I remove those that I already did. But right now, I'll talk about Angeles City transportation. I think I already talked about that way back, but I didn't specifically talk about drivers and cars. Okay, in Angeles City, nowadays, hotels provide good, transportation services. Although it's a little bit, more expensive than other services because the driver has to, if it's not hotel owned, the driver has to give the hotel some, share with the, for example, if normally the driver only charges 300, the hotel would charge you 400, so the hotel can keep 100. But if you would ask me personally, nowadays in Angeles City, hotels usually have their own transportation because they want to keep the profit for themselves. And if you would ask me, or it's more safe to be in, like Collier Hotel for a service or car like that. But for example, you want to rent your own car. If you have an international driver's license, it's possible. I know some people who rents out cars cheaply, like 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month. But usually they are manual. You have to drive manual for that. And if you want a driver, usually, here's what you can do to save money. If you have this favorite driver, you can taxi driver. You can negotiate with him. For example, you can tell him or her like, okay, if I will call you, can you give me discount? Like for example, he normally charges you 300, but 350. You can say, can I call you? Like, can you give me 300 pesos? Like that. A discount is really, they actually like it. And then, as long as they keep you their own customer. I know that because my father used to drive for foreigners. And then, another one is, I believe that in Angeles, if you're gonna be, your safety is, there's like an insurance with the hotel, right? So once, if these drivers are like, do something a little bit nasty on you, you can just tell the hotel. But if you are in Manila and then, here's my tip. I don't know if everyone does this, but whenever I go home to Manila, of course I can take a taxi. But sometimes I'd rather use the money for shopping. So, and I'm a Filipina, so I'm not really scared. So, and my things, I usually don't bring special, like, in Japan, it's okay for me to walk like my, handbag, really a handbag. But in the Philippines, my handbag becomes a body bag. That's how paranoid I am. So yeah, I'm a little bit cheapy. Come on, I don't pick up money. And then, what I would do is from from Manila Airport, I'm gonna take you're gonna go out, I don't know about other terminal, but I usually go to Terminal 3, and then there's an upstairs and downstairs. Upstairs, that's where the passengers drop off for the departure, and then the other one is the arrival downstairs. So at the arrival area, there are many airport taxis that would charge you over 700 pesos from the Naiya terminal to the bus station. Think about that. That's crazy. If that's how they would really charge me always, I'd rather call a taxi from Angeles City, right? And then what I usually do is I go up at the arrival area where the taxis are. My favorite taxis are the yellow taxis. This is run by the airport. It's a little bit more expensive. Usually their meter starts with 70 pesos or 80 pesos, but it's okay. But unlike other taxis, there are instances that, you know, they're gonna tell you, especially if you're a foreigner or if they know you came from another country, they're gonna, yeah, I had an experience one time. They said, oh, it's 400. It's fixed. I was really surprised, like, so I cannot really argue because I'm already in the taxi. And some of them, they would, you know, when you ride a bus and then the bus driver will ask you, going to the airport, sir? Then they're gonna drop you off at a taxi lane where they would charge you 1,000 pesos to get to the airport. They're even gonna give a paper. In that case, I just usually say that I just, you know, go down where I can go down. Like usually Heritage, I'm okay to pay 400 pesos than to pay 1,000 pesos. Why does it happen sometimes at the bus, you know, bus drivers do that? Because they have a commission. Like some taxi drivers tell the bus drivers, like, if you drop off any customers to us who are going at the airport, we're gonna give you 100 peso, 200 peso commission. That's why they're gonna charge us 1,000 peso. So yeah, if I were you guys, when you arrive at NAIA, just go to the arrival area, I mean the departure upstairs, and then you will see the taxis lining up who just drop off someone. And yeah, they're gonna charge you by meter, not, you know, and then you can look for those beautiful yellow taxi. They're really beautiful. Those taxis are run by the airport, but a little bit, you know, their meter starts at a little bit higher, but it's safe. At least you have someone to complain to. Now, I've also heard some stories where not only that, there are like kidnappers or no, robbery inside the taxi. Well, that is true. I'm not gonna deny that. To be honest, I also don't know how to avoid that. Usually what I do is, in my case, because I'm a girl, I heard that sometimes they're gonna spray something until you fall asleep, like that. So I usually spray first, perfume. That's me. But as for you guys are men, I'm sure you guys can just kill that guy. Kidding. You just can just hit him. And then let's go back to, now, if you have money and you think your safety is, you're fine. Like, you don't want to have the hassle of transferring from one place to another like that, going to the bus station. Well, what you could do is call the hotel or your trusted taxi driver from Angeles City. It's very important that you trust that hotel or trust that taxi driver. And also, when your taxi driver tells you not to open your window around Manila, don't open it. Because for one instance, my father had this experience. He told the passenger, don't open your window, but the passenger wants to smoke. Then my father said, you can smoke at the expressway, but the passenger was a little bit stubborn. And there was this one thief. He really put his hand inside the car to get his bag. But my father just, pushed the window button, and then the guy got stuck, and then my father dragged him. So until the guy said, Kuya, please let me go, like that. My father didn't let him go. And then just follow those, safety precautions. And as for the charges, I'm not really so sure how much your taxi is usually charging you, but usually it's 2,500 to 2,300. But some of them would charge you 2,800. I don't know why. Even inside Clark, before I think it was only 300, but now it's 350 to 400. So anyway, for other hotels such as Korean hotels, they usually provide free transportation if you stay in their hotel. Not all, but most. But you have to wait. Like for example, you wanted to be picked up in Fields Avenue, and then they are also picking up some customers in Fields Avenue. Sometimes you have to wait for those customers, and then you have to share the ride. But I think the Koreans did that because their hotels are usually far, and it's really inconvenient for some Koreans to use a tricycle because they're also being overcharged. So yeah, but anyway, that kind of system works out for them. And then safety. I guess the best thing that you could do is, yeah, keep your things not, if they say, in the back of the trunk. If it can fit beside you, just put it there. And if you're with someone, that's much better, especially a Filipina who could haggle those prices and tell that driver not to be nasty. But sometimes those drivers would even tell them, like, he's not your blood, why are you protecting him? That's nasty, right? It's really cruel. So for transportation, I would say it's better for you to call your hotel. But if you're confident enough, like me, or if you prefer to use the money for something else, just take care, guys. I'm not saying my country is perfect or it's really safe or something, but even in safe countries, nasty things happen. So don't expect that much in my country. And if you have a favorite tricycle driver, a favorite taxi driver, you can always negotiate with them. So don't be afraid to negotiate with them. And then for your hotels, tell them to give you some discounts. Maybe they would kill me for telling you that. And yeah, I hope that one helped, especially. And then for if you're renting a car, I just want to put this a little bit, yeah. If you're renting a car, I think all you need is to photocopy of your passport and then driver's license, and of course the payment. And yeah, just make sure to return the car. And then usually those kinds of renting, when you're renting the car, they usually want to know where you actually live or where you're staying. It's also important for them. So, because, yeah, of course you're not going to take the car, are you? But, I hope that one helped you. And, yeah, as you can see, it's possible for you guys to drive because many Koreans also do that. And as for your safety, just, first you have to value your own safety first about it, regardless of anything. And then convenience. And also, yeah, the price is important. So I hope that helped a little bit. I don't really know what I talked about, but I hope it did. So for those who are coming to Manila City, see you guys maybe December. Maybe, I'm not sure because I'm afraid to go home. So have a nice day.